I just deleted my Instagram account. Okay, not like deleted. Just changed my password by mashing on the keyboard and then told everyone that I would basically never log on to the godforsaken platform again.
Goodbye.
Why did I do it? Surprisingly, the main reason wasn't the insane amount of time I was spending and wasting on there, which, side note, was, I don't know the technical term for it, a metric shitload. Still though, that wasn't why I quit. The main reason I left Instagram is because I finally saw it for what it truly is: a pyramid scheme. In order for you to understand how and why Instagram is basically a pyramid scheme in disguise, let me first pose a challenge to you. Can you think of one creator, just one, that fits the following 3 criteria? Number 1, interacting with Instagram brings them 0 anxiety. Number 2, Instagram is honestly not an addiction for them. And number 3, Instagram alone makes them enough money to support their lifestyle. Go ahead, pause this video for as long as you like and try to think of anyone that perfectly meets all of those criteria. Now, some of you might have actually thought of a few people that at least mostly fit the bill for this challenge. A small number of creators that seem to have cracked the Instagram code. What you will notice about those people, however, is that in order to successfully accomplish all 3 of those things, right? Not get anxious or attached, like really be honest with themselves that they're not, and make a livable wage, well, then they have to simultaneously not consume anything on Instagram. In other words, anyone who is truly getting the most out of this app, all pros and no cons, gets on there just to sell their stuff, and then they get off. Now you may be wondering why these creators choose to go that route. It's because they understand, either intuitively or directly, that this app was designed by a team of elite psychologists and engineers to be as addictive as humanly possible. Like recovering alcoholics, they understand that it's hopeless just to consume a little bit here and there. Now, in terms of something as addictive as Instagram, really is all or nothing. That is super important to note because it highlights just how unstable this whole platform really is. Remember, the only way to accumulate all of Instagram's benefits without taking on any of its negative side effects is by posting and logging off as soon as you can. Otherwise, you're bound to trade in some or a lot of your mental sanity. But if we all did that, if we all just shared and then got off immediately, well, then no one would even be on the platform to consume the content that we uploaded, would they? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Instagram's business model requires a large pool of lustful and paranoid humans like you and me, and a small handful of detached and borderline aggressive entrepreneurs in order to sustain itself. And that is why Instagram reminds me so much of a conniving pyramid scheme. In a pyramid scheme, number 1, the system collapses without a continuous influx of new members, as the revenue generated by recruits is necessary to pay the earlier recruits. Second, value exists primarily through recruitment, rather than with tangible products or services that will truly benefit one's life. And lastly, benefits primarily go to the recruiters at the top, while the rest struggle to see any kind of returns. And then you've got Instagram. 1, the platform collapses without a continuous influx of people's attention, as the engagement from these users is necessary to reward creators. Number 2, value exists primarily through mindless entertainment, rather than with tangible products or services that will really benefit one's life. And lastly, benefits primarily go to influencers at the top, while the rest struggle to see any returns. Are you finally starting to see it? Instagram isn't this online Disneyland portal where you go for good vibes and relaxation. It's a grungy back alley where you and your drug dealer, who doesn't even do drugs, by the way, meet up for some speed. Actually, it's even worse than that, because in this scenario, you don't even recognize that you're in a back alley scoring below. This app is so freaking shiny and curated and teeming with life that, be honest, you think you're in the most responsible, respectable place in the world. But Ethan, everyone's on Instagram. Shouldn't that indicate to us that things are fine? Like, when has the collective ever led us astray? Touché. Look, Instagram executives are fully aware that their business is liable to implode on itself at any point. They know, subconsciously at least, I don't know if they're talking about it openly, that the second their users wake up to the fact that their minds are being denatured and borderline poisoned by their service, they're screwed. And that's why they must continually update and fine-tune their proprietary billion-dollar algorithm, creating more and more clever or effective ways of hijacking and keeping our attention. They've got to keep us on the juice so that we don't even ask questions like, is this really something I should be doing with my time? In other words, without your and my constant supply of dopamine, they die as a business, fast. Which is why they must endlessly appeal to our greedy, lonely, and frightened little monkey brains. Now, some of you might think that you can beat them at their own game. Like, you might say to yourself, yeah, I can just consume a little bit here or there without getting hooked or negatively impacted. I've got some bad news for you. Your brain has not evolved to calmly handle bouncing from subject to subject to subject, hundreds of them in many cases, almost all of them either quite shocking or at least sensationalized, for hundreds, if not thousands of hours per year, year after year after year. Hear that again. Your brain has not evolved to calmly handle bouncing from subject to subject to subject, hundreds of them in many cases, almost all of them either quite shocking or at least sensationalized, for hundreds, if not thousands of hours per year, year after year after year. Like, even if you manage just to hop on for like a cool 5-minute check-in, within that time frame, I can virtually guarantee that you've been exposed to 25 pieces of content, at least. Most of them different in topic, in scope, and like 99% of them all saying some version of, you aren't attractive enough, you aren't extroverted enough, you aren't trendy enough, you aren't safe enough, you aren't informed enough, you aren't relaxed enough, you aren't kind enough. Enough! I hate to be the one to tell you this, but your time on Instagram is not making you more creative or informed. It's making you into a crazy person. I know this can be hard for some of you to swallow. I get it. But maybe just take a second to reflect on your experience with Instagram. Like, it's virtually undeniable at this point that creators are making some of the most high-octane, dramatic content known to man because they're just trying to satisfy Instagram's algorithm. Okay, I get it. If you aren't in the top 1% of Instagram creators, then yeah, it's probably a terrible investment of my time and attention. Heard and understood. But you don't seriously expect me to leave, do you? Yes, I do. I think you can do better. Actually, I know you can do better. Even if you got back just 1 hour of your day and you invested that hour into things that were good for your mental health, like meditating, socializing face-to-face, or immersing yourself in nature, you would revolutionize and transform your life. Okay, but how do I do it? How do I quit? Well, how does someone back away from a pyramid scheme that just frankly isn't panning out? Or how does a gambler walk away from the blackjack table, knowing that they haven't recouped their losses yet? I'll tell you, they just swallow their pride, forget about the sunk costs, and leave, never to look back again. Hey, thanks for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to sign up for my free Body, Mind, Soul newsletter. It's a popular email that I send out each Sunday, where I give you suggestions for how to make the most out of your body, practical advice on navigating life's challenges, quotes from history's greatest teachers, and my upcoming yoga class and workshop schedule. The link is in the description below. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and I will talk with you soon. Peace.